Hello, my name's Kenny Hunter. I'm a sculptor based in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I've been selected to sculpt a likeness of Billy Bremner for the Raploch in Stirling. Yeah, I can remember him from my childhood. I remember especially the '74 World Cup, and obviously Leeds were obviously a big team back when I was a kid as well. So that was aware of him then as well. So yeah, I guess you just think of him being tenacious, and I think that in a way that's a bit of a cliche about him, but you can't forget he's also an incredibly talented footballer, and I think he's had lots of plaudits from high-ranking professional footballers of the day.
Mhm.
You'll keep me right on that.
Yeah,
I think Beckenbauer and
yeah,
Pele and
that's
people like
right.
that really rated him.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's right.
um, no higher praise needed. But yeah, he was a captain. Somebody who was a leader, I guess, and that's an important reason why we remember Billy to this day, because he's a focal point for the Scottish national team and for Leeds United too. I think it was a two-pronged approach I had. One, firstly, was to think about what time of life I wanted to commit into bronze, and I decided that I wanted to get his last moment in the Raploch before he left to become a professional footballer.
Mhm.
So I believe that was around the age of 15 he left, but by that time he'd already played for Scotland schoolboys. So he pulled on the blue jersey of Scotland. He was obviously a very kind of one to watch, talented footballer in the making. But I guess that it's pivotal for anybody, isn't it? When you leave your hometown,
Mhm.
it's a big moment. But I guess that's the sort of period that I'm interested in.
Mhm.
It's all his potential is ahead of him. All his that whole incredible journey is just about to unfold. And in a way, you could see it as a pairing of the one at Ellen Road, which is him triumphant, you know, at his apex, if you like, as a professional. Whereas this one's all about the sort of beginning, origin story, let's say, of Billy Bremner. Another thing that I considered was, the other one in Ellen Road's a very active moment, sort of frozen moment in time. Whereas this one, I want to be much more still and thoughtful, um, because it's a thoughtful time, I guess, when you move away from your hometown. Um, but I want to try and communicate not the joy of winning, but more his tenacity, his strength of character, his will, and his leadership qualities.
And you've visited the location where we'd like to
Mm.
sort of have the memorial. So, what were your thoughts about that area in Raploch where it might be situated?
Uh, if I'm honest, I was blown away with it. I thought it was a beautiful site. Raploch, there's a bit of, I've never been there before, so it has a reputation, and I thought, wow, this is a really nice civic square. So you can see Stirling Castle in the background. It's very close to where he was brought up, so it makes complete sense as a place to site a sculpture
Yeah,
for Billy Bremner.
yeah. And then, in terms of the process to design a sculpture, what's that process? What does that involve, and how would you propose to do the Billy Bremner um, image?
Um, Generally speaking, I think I kind of think my way into it at the start in terms of like making those key decisions about what kind of pose, what kind of age, But initially, I'd probably start with a little model, build a model from that. For this one in particular, we want to try and find uh, a young footballer from the area who'd be willing to act as a sort of model as well. We could just get a 3D digital scanner, scan that person, and we'd do a lot of research into the kind of kit that was worn, I guess, at that time.
Mhm.
Um, you'll keep me right on that. Would that be in the
Yeah, I think that's
early to
something
mid
we could do.
'60s or
Yeah,
something?
so late 50s, he represented Scotland as a schoolboy.
Right.
So we have a good working relationship with the Football Museum in Scotland. So probably
ideal.
get an idea of what that kit looked like at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So bringing all those aspects together, so I've got a good scan of somebody of comparable height and build. I've I've got as much archival information as I can get my hands on in terms of photographs of that age when he's at that age. And then I begin to model it full size in clay over a steel armature. And then I would, once that is completed, I would make a mold, flexible rubber mold, and from that you get a wax copy. And that wax copy is I'll have help making that with the foundry that I work with, and then that wax positive version is invested in another mold, and then those investments become the kind of where you pour the bronze in sort of thing, and that's done in sections, and then those sections are then welded together.
Okay.
And ultimately then finished in the metal, patinated, and installed.
Okay.
Oh, that's a loaded question. Whether or not it all comes to pass the way you want. I mean, obviously, I'd like people to be recognise his achievement and take some pride in somebody who's from their neighbourhood who's done significant things with their life, and that could be inspiration to people. I don't know. Hopefully, that will be. I think I want to make a great piece of art as well. Obviously, it's got to be a likeness of Billy Bremner, but it can equally be a good sculpture at the same time, and I'd like to leave that behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all about sculptural qualities like volume and mass and texture and gravity and surface, information, that sort of thing. Yeah. And that sculpture has a kind of inner life, and I think having a still, thoughtful figure is quite a good way of achieving that.